It's 2021. Welcome to the new 21 Report. I'm Tony Bruno, and I'm here with a special guest, Steve the Dean Williams. Steve, how are you?
Man, I'm good. It's a pleasure to be here. Welcome. I'm glad. Not welcome, but thank you for having me, man.
I'm glad you're here with me today. First thing I want to ask you is, how was your experience at 21, first of all?
Every year it ups the ante of not only just being here, but also being with, speaking with the people that are here at the attendees. Just talking to them. I was lucky enough, I was supposed to do an hour workshop, but it ended up being an hour and 45 minutes of great dialogue, great questions, and a lot of private time one-on-one. So to me, I love that. I did the patriarch talking about family, and I did 21 breaking down the importance of the YouTube phenomenon of kayfabe that a lot of young men have to be careful about.
Okay, explain kayfabe.
Well, kayfabe is something that started a long time ago with wrestlers, where when you watch wrestling, the bad guys, you would believe that the bad guy that you see on TV lived the same life outside of the camera, where they were just playing a role and acting out. So I discussed the 90s, where it was called the Attitude Era, where, they used catchphrases with the crowd to connect with the crowd. So when The Rock would grab the microphone and he would say, "If you smell la 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 la," and the crowd would be, "What The Rock is cooking," or Stone Cold Steve Austin, because Stone Cold, and the crowd would say said. So it was a connection between the wrestler and the audience that sold products. So what's happening today is that individuals are using like hypergamy. They're using female nature, your high value man, being on your purpose. They're using these words to try to connect with the individual who is blinded by the information that is bad. So what I talked about is young men smoking, like taking that as a drug, and not only taking that in, they're waiting for the next phrase. They're waiting in line for the next person to come out with the next phrase. So not only can they use it, but regurgitate it or mimic it in all their language, and that's not what men do.
Okay. Yeah. Now, who benefits from the 21 convention?
Who benefits from the 21 convention? I would say those that make the investment. See, the beautiful thing, and I said this to the men, that you have an advantage. This is an opportunity to really be around men who are going to love you enough to punch you in your chest. Mm-hmm. And I'll say it again, who love you enough to punch you in your chest, who are not trying to sugarcoat it, who are not teaching you how to blame, who are not teaching you how to manipulate or deceive, but they're saying, I love you enough to show you what the real world is like, and that women are not as bad as people say on YouTube, or the government is not as bad. Yeah, there are bad pockets, but once you focus on the individual versus the collective, you begin to see things differently. But it's been beautiful.
And then how do you benefit from 21?
Well, I benefit through the interaction. For me, my benefit is being able to pass knowledge. See, as older men, we must learn how to pass the baton. Because eventually, we're going to die one day. That's the truth. So we need to make sure that in our death, that we are able to pass a baton to somebody, because they are our future. They have to carry on what we left behind. So for me, it's passing the baton to these young men to say that, you know what, the importance is not me. The importance is not you. It's the information that we share to each other, that you encode and decode in your life and move as a man.
Okay. So when you're giving your workshops or your speeches, what is the main thing that you want to teach men? The number one thing. We'll start with the number.
The number one thing is that you're the only one of your kind. The people don't understand that your fingerprint is your marker in life and in this world. And there's nobody else like you. So I've always said, if you're the only one of your kind, why not learn your own language that marks your name, your bloodline, your legacy, and your sperm. You don't need to listen and be somebody else. You can take information from somebody else, but you need to learn how to speak, behave, maneuver, and be a man for yourself.
Mm-hmm. Now, you have a unique way of speaking to men. Did you develop that, or is this natural?
Well, this is who, I mean, what people know about us is that, you know, what I am on camera is what you see in real life. I don't change who I am.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, I'm a fun-loving guy that when it comes time to be serious, I'm serious. I don't pull punches. I'm not about what could be. I'm about what is. I mean, I can say the same for you. You know, we're men that, you know, care enough to be honest. So this is who I am. It's not a mask that I'm wearing and trying to portray a role. This is who I am 25 hours a day, 8 days a week, and on Sunday.
Okay. Let's talk to a man that is interested in 21 Convention, has seen your content and other people's content. What would you say to that guy to change his mind or to show him the value of a convention like this, and not just yourself, but other speakers?
Well, yeah, before one can change one's mind, one must accept that one's mind needs to be changed. His mind needs to be changed. So I want young men to accept that we have to change, but you don't say I have to change. You've got to begin small processes to make the change. There's so much, unfortunately, because of YouTube and people on YouTube, there's so much clutter and poison that's poisoned a lot of these men's mind that they're going to have to clean their house to get order. They're going to have to defang. They're going to have to clean the pipes, the bad wiring before they can start, because you can't be a doctor overnight. You can't learn how to fly a plane overnight, but you've got to be able here, I feel like with the information, you can stop walking in the wrong direction and start to turn the opposite direction. That's what I want to do. I don't want to say it's going to happen overnight, because I don't want to give them a lie or anything like that. But once you can realize you have the power to turn around and be in control of your life, that's the first step of process of being a man.
Okay. Now you're also speaking at the 22 Convention. What are you talking to women about?
Well, the thing that I talk to women about is manhood. See, one thing women don't understand, they're so busy learning themselves, they don't know men. When is the last time you bought a man a drink? When was the last time you took a man to dinner? When is the last time that you learned, what is his favorite sports team? What is his favorite video game? When is the next Marvel, DC, or John Wick movie coming out? Are you buying tickets to that? See, what women don't understand is they don't understand men because they're so focused on being women. But if you want to have success with something, you need to understand your opponent. So it's not I'm just sugar and spice and everything nice. I need to understand men. And to only understand men is to push aside my self-importance and realize that I'm not going after I'm going after his last name is Ring. So what do I bring to the table to fit his narrative? And that's something that's a hard pill to swallow, but it's the truth.
Quick message to the women from Steve the Dean Williams.
Well, what I would say to the women out there is, yes, I want you to value yourself, but you have to understand that your value at the end of the day is going to come from a man. It's the man that chooses you to be in the relationship. It's the man that chooses to move you in. It's the man that chooses to be engaged to you. It's the man that chooses to marry you. It's the man that chooses to have your children. So what you have got to do is you've got to create and cultivate a mindset to show more gratitude, more appreciation, where I call it the 4 S's, Tony: submit, serve, sex, and shh.
Quick message for the men from Steve the Dean Williams.
What I would want to say to the men out there is that you are great men, and never stop being great, and make sure you always focus on you. You are the only one of your kind. And how do I know that? Because you were the one that got to the egg first, and because of that, you are a winner. And the one thing that you have to do is make sure that the information that you get nowadays is putting and making you a single-minded man. Stop mimicking bad behavior and start to mimic yourself.
Steve, you have been a great part of 21 from your first appearance.
Thank you.
And I see many, many more years here. And we appreciate you.
Tony,
thank you for your time.
It's always a pleasure, Tony. Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.